This is Afro Vibe. This is on Afro Vibes Radio. This is The Gist with Issa and Grace.
What's up, y'all? We have two beautiful
Oh, beautiful
Black
goddesses here.
Thank you. So are y'all.
So, can you just introduce yourself quickly?
My name is Carissa Stevens.
And I'm Amber Gardner.
And together we are NaturallyGG.
You guys are so cute. I love that.
Let's try that with the gist. Hi, I'm Grace Africa.
I'm Issa Abraham, and together we are the...
Y'all got it.
We had so many.
We had a lot of practice.
And we grew up together.
Yeah, you guys
We're
are like
sisters.
real sisters.
Real sisters.
Same mother, same father.
So who's the oldest? You guys look like twins.
Oh, we like to get people to guess.
Yeah, twins, but they real sisters. You know what I mean?
Can y'all guess who's older?
I think, maybe you.
Why? What makes you say that?
Jeez Louise.
See, then we were wrong.
We always like to know.
No, you're older. You know why I think you're older? Because you told me before the show started that you went to school at UH and finished in 2011. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you said you did your post-bac. I don't know. No, never mind.
Actually, I'm older.
You are older.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. I should have stuck to
Most
that.
people say she's older.
Really?
I got the same thing with my sister. It's not fair.
It's not.
Really?
I don't understand
Yeah,
why.
Grace's sister was on here a couple weeks back, but I think you don't look older. It's just that you're taller.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
taller than me.
It just seems
Oh my
that's
goodness.
Subconsciously.
And she
But you
has
have a
such
baby
a
face,
calm
Grace.
demeanor, and I'm like kind of really extra.
Yeah, I'm the reserved
No,
one.
but you look cute though. Wait, stand up a little. Let's see your
Okay.
outfit. You look too cute.
She got a little.
Look at her.
That's
You're so
Hey,
cute. Look at this girl.
eyelid.
Let's see. I love yours too. 'Cause it's kind of like a tribal type
Yes.
type
About to
vibe.
bring the vibe today.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all said
Thank
Black
you.
History Month is
Yes, we
Yes.
have to represent.
Happy
Yes,
Black
gotta
History Month.
represent.
So
Black
I
everyone.
see that you are flashing a ring as well as you were showing us your
am.
outfit. So are you recently married?
I am
Or
engaged.
You're engaged.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He did a good job. I got engaged about a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty fresh.
Grace,
Thank you.
can you know,
Congrats.
you know,
No,
congrats.
I'm very interested because they don't do
You guys, it was the
guys don't
most
put a ring on it.
exciting
They don't.
That's true.
It's so sad.
Wait,
I got
how
lucky.
long were you dating?
4 years.
Wow.
So I think it was
You know what?
time.
Yeah.
It was
Some
time.
white girls are like 2 years or I'm done. I'm cutting it off. They're like,
Every
I'm
relationship
giving
is
you 2
different.
years.
Every relationship is different. You can't put a time to
Right.
it. You know, some people it's sooner, some people it's later.
Right.
Just when the
Right.
time is right, you know.
So
you know.
where did you meet this guy?
In a hospital actually. He's an occupational
She
therapy.
said, let me
Yeah.
bring you back to life. baby.
Yes, I was. I'm a nurse practitioner, but at the
so you work in the
time-
hospital too?
Yes. At the time, I was in the hospital. I was, taking care of my patients, doing what I do,
Right.
and he just came up to me.
Oh,
He put his number. I know exactly.
Go ahead,
Nurses
brother.
are always busy, but
That's my bro.
right. He wrote his information down on like my nursing
Wow.
papers.
Oh.
And then I waited a little bit to call him, but
You wanna
we had our
give a
first date.
diagnosis?
Yes,
You
yes.
want to
Waited
feel
3
it out a little
days.
bit?
Yeah.
And then from there we just clicked, and
Oh,
it was
wow.
history. So I
So
mean,
that was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So since you guys got engaged so early, did you guys do anything for Valentine's Day? Was it just kind of like, baby?
No,
just
we
got me
did
this
actually.
ring, so...
We did like a little road trip to Austin, which was really fun. We went hiking.
Spicy. You see that? You keep it spicy.
You know,
early on.
I get bored easily, so
Because
he knows.
in 10 years, you'll probably be like, okay, we did our 10-year anniversary. You know what, babe, let's
No.
just sit down
Oh,
and eat
no.
fried chicken.
No
Like,
excuse. You can always
She's gonna keep him in
spicy.
check too.
I've been there
Yes.
for 6 years, and we still keep it spicy.
Oh, what
You
you got
guys-
spicy?
Girl,
What
you
you
know,
got going on?
we had a nice
What you got going on? She got...
I've been there for 6 years. We had a staycation for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And that was really different for us
I
this year
love
because we have a
staycations.
1-year-old.
Oh.
So our daughter just turned 1.
Wait, dang! You look so good for
Thank
giving
you.
birth like so
You know,
recently.
it's
That
not me. it's the
snapback,
Lord.
honey.
Oh, she said she gave it to the Lord.
Come through,
I said it
snapback.
wasn't me. It's
Start
the
praying
Lord.
now. I'm not gonna pray for my husband. I'm gonna pray for my snapback. That's what I'm gonna pray for. Thank
But
you.
always keep it spicy, ladies. Just
Dang.
get creative. We ended up doing a staycation just about an hour from where we live, but we had a
Okay.
beautiful hotel.
Oh,
And we had the
nice.
baby with us, but we put her to sleep, and then we
Yeah.
had some mommy daddy time.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
We had her little segment of the suite,
Right.
and we had
You
mommy
had
daddy
your own.
time.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's nice though. Sometimes like
chocolate colored strawberries.
There you go. sis.
sometimes
Thank-
staycations are just as fun as like
Yeah,
going
you don't
out.
have to go
'Cause you don't have
anywhere.
to do you don't have to do the traveling, the packing. Like it's just
Exactly.
it's a lot.
And we worked so
Yeah.
much. We had to get back to work like the next day. So it was nice to do something without having to go all the way.
Right.
And we love to travel, but it's good to squeeze in those little, you know, those little something.
So what do you do for work? You don't look like you work at all. You
Oh,
know,
girl.
like this. 3 hours in the
Thank
gym
you.
recording.
I wish. Actually, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I managed, along with NaturallyGG with my sister, I manage a lifestyle blog at she's charismatic.com. Charismatic is with 2 S's, like in my name. My name is Carissa. And so on She's Charismatic, thank you. It's all things beauty. There you go. Beauty, motherhood, and entrepreneurial inspiration. A little bit of natural hair in there as well.
Right.
And then I also am a winemaker.
Girl,
Which is my
love
latest.
my Moscato. I told you before the show started, I'm like, you need to tell me other white wines that are as sweet as Moscato. Because I keep saying Moscato, and I'm like, I need to say other. I need to try other things.
Yeah. We'll expand that palate.
Yeah, because if they don't have Moscato, I'm like, Riesling.
Yeah, that's like I'm just like.
So we're creating 3 different varietals. We're doing a red blend, which is ultra delicious. Our wine is ultra premium, made out of Napa Valley, California.
Oh, nice.
So you know the world famous winemaker region of Napa. So our red blend, a Pinot Grigio, which you ladies will try, hopefully at our upcoming wine release soiree, which is taking place on March 21st.
Let us know.
It's a Saturday from 9 to 12 midnight. And so we're having our wine tasting, our red blend, our Pinot Grigio, and our rosé.
Rosé I like.
And
Rosé I love.
they're all amazing, so I can't wait for y'all to taste. Hopefully,
I'm gonna be up in there. Look at those legs.
I'm so excited. Yes, thank you.
You have to
Yes.
smell, swirl, and savor.
Yeah,
y'all do the you know what I'm saying?
What is that?
No, we don't
they
spit this
do
out.
that.
Yeah, they
do
spit.
that when they're
Really?
tasting wine.
At serious tastings, there's so much to taste, and you have to keep like your head
It's
level.
like the richest men. They go,
Yeah, they have to keep their head level so they can distinguish between all the different varietals. Because liquor obviously might impair you, and then you're like, this was good, but you can't really describe the wine. So, but we won't be spitting at the event.
Wait, so what got you into wine?
So we actually had some
Besides the fact that
insight.
you look so bougie, but
Why you not bougie, sis?
yes.
y'all both look bougie. I love it. In a great way, in the best way. Don't worry.
Wine was something that we were passionate about for years, and we like to be kind of self-taught with everything. My husband's also an entrepreneur; he's an attorney, and he manages his own firm. So when it comes,
you married well.
Thank you. But he's a good man. He's
You guys are so sweet.
But
See, we're out here. We're just
over here. He ain't got no job, but he's a good man.
So actually, we just started developing our palates at home. It literally, we would be interested in wine, so we would find documentaries.
Wow.
On Netflix, on Amazon. No.
You guys are so
So we wanted to learn more. We saw kind of a need. We kind of had a particular taste that we wanted to develop and bring to market.
Oh, wow.
Being that we're both entrepreneurs, we actually met over business at a business management internship in college.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of our passion is developing brands, and we were passionate about wine. We said, what can we develop that we can share with people? Like a product that's tangible that people can enjoy with us.
Right.
So we're sharing our passion with people for wine. And
I love that. I love seeing like black young entrepreneurs doing something they love. Like, and then you guys are married. You have a child. I know you're gonna have a child coming up in a couple years now.
Kamara needs a cousin.
Did you start scratching the back of her neck?
Kamara needs a cousin.
I hope you
Not how to hear eventually.
I love it. So you guys actually, this is not anything new. You guys started a YouTube channel, right?
Our YouTube channel.
And so what was that about? And how long ago was that?
That was about 9 years ago. We actually started on our couch. We were living together, young and free in Midtown.
Young and free.
And we grew up with chemical relaxers, and we never knew what our natural hair looked like.
I get that.
So we both cut our hair off, all of our perm off around the same time, and we had TWAs or teeny weeny afros.
An inch of hair. An inch of hair.
Wow.
You did the big chop.
Yeah, we both did the big chop.
9 years ago?
About 9 years
So
ago.
you are rocking your natural hair right now?
Yes. This is all our hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I was wondering, I was like, can I get that wig?
When a lot of people like go natural, they see it as like if you've gone natural before the natural movement, there's like a different type of sentiment there.
Yeah,
it is.
before
It's
it
like
became
going
like a
against
fad.
the norm. Because I know like people went naturally, like, are you crazy? Like,
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't the thing.
Yes.
It
It was
I
not
agree.
the thing
I agree.
10 years ago.
Yeah, because even me, I did my big chop like only a year ago.
Okay.
Because I was so into like.
Congrats are in order.
Thank you. It took a lot for me to do that because I was like, you know what? No one's ever gonna see my real hair. Like I'm always gonna do braids. Like I don't want to go into work and people like looking at me like I was so excited. I work in corporate, I work in software, and I just didn't want to deal with that. And I just kept doing the natural thing. And so I agree. Even now, for me, I feel like I still understand when people are like, I don't want to do it. Like, this is a lot of work, and I don't want people to look at me a certain way, especially in that corporate America.
And that's my background as well. Is I started in corporate America. Right. I worked for a Fortune 100 energy company.
Girl, you do it all.
I'm just trying to navigate through life.
You navigated just fine.
I don't think you navigated better. You fly. You fly.
You are doing just
But
fine.
I had to leave that experience eventually. And there's definitely a place for corporate in a lot of people's lives. What I had to come to understand was that I wasn't fully operating in my passions.
Right.
And I was the only black female in my department at that. And I was natural. And so, it came with the self-doubt of, is this too ethnic for them?
Right.
And, coming in, this might be a little too much.
Did they
like a lot of
touching
women.
your hair?
Yeah,
and
very curious, touching my hair. And I'm still trying to get to know my own hair.
Right.
You all in my, so, but I
get that. I get that.
Corporate was definitely a growing place, and there was some growing pains that came along with that, and I had to just accept myself totally, regardless of how I felt others' perceptions of my own hair was. Because when we love it, when we embrace it, and we rock it with 100% confidence, others will appreciate it more and love it.
That's a big point, because even when I go to work, it's like I see like in my job, there's maybe 5% are not even black, just not white. And so I love the fact that now it's like, you know what, I can wear an afro, or I can do, it's more acceptable to do that, or at least they can't openly disgrace you. It's more like, okay, well, she's doing her thing, I'm not step on anyone's toes. And so I think we're coming a long way, and as black people, I love that we're embracing ourselves and we're pushing each other up and higher, and we have something like this, like all four of us talking about it openly. I mean, you guys started 9 years ago, but it's so great. And this is not even right now just for hair. This is like black businesses. This is community. This is even dancing. This is Afrobeats. We're on Afro Vibes Radio, which is basically African and Caribbean music, and it's like this has now become such a focal point for music in general.
Oh my gosh, this studio is amazing.
Thank
you guys are doing such an awesome job, and we're so excited to be here.
We're so excited.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know if the audience can catch every vibe in here, but it's on 10.
Vibes, honey.
It's truly
vibes. It's truly on 10.
But this is why we have this, because we want to bring to light and empower black people, because if we don't do it, then who will?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's power in numbers,
Right.
and I mean, we can do so much together.
Right.
We can accomplish literally anything. We're so powerful.
Yes. We will, and we'll take a quick break, a 5-minute break, and we will be back to discuss you, girl. Because Amber, you've been quiet over there, so we're gonna talk a little about you.
I forgot. She's
not quiet, y'all.
We're gonna
Just
put
a little
a little
bit.
vibes in you. So just give us 5 minutes, or catch us after the break. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been The Gist with Issa and Grace on Afro Vibes Radio. Thank you. Guys, thank you guys for joining us. We're always out of sync right now. I don't know why. We're really out of sync. Go ahead.
Oh, we're back with Just with Issa and Grace.
Yes, on Afro Vibes Radio.
We were just talking about natural hair and how we've grown with our YouTube channel, which I'm actually interested. I know, so of course you've gone through life. You were single, and then you got into a relationship, and then kids, and your different endeavors, careers. How did that, did you lose some of your audience from all those changes? Because I know with branding, if you're not doing this and this is what the people want, they go away.
And we did. I mean, it is what it is, but we still have a good amount of OG followers. We have currently about 80,000 on YouTube still.
Oh, nice.
So we still have that, those people that still want our content, that still love us, and we really appreciate and love them so much. So we lost some, but we still have a lot as well.
Yeah. And that natural hair movement, a lot of people, it was kind of like a trend. And so now
but I mean, you guys don't seem like you're phased at all. You guys are going through different stages in life, and so whoever's gonna come and follow you and support you, that's what it is. But you don't seem stagnated in your, we're 10 years ago we were doing this, we're gonna stick with this.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Life moves on.
Yeah, and people want to see those stages of our lives. People are interested in our next venture and our next stage.
And our growth.
And our growth, exactly. Because life is a journey, and people want to see that.
So much more than just styling our hair.
Yeah.
Wait, so you were telling me during the break about your interest in mental health. So tell me a little bit about
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a nurse practitioner.
Right.
I've been a nurse practitioner for about 2 years, and I know Miss Grace.
Yeah.
So we share that in common. I love the profession.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many options, but I see a lot of mental health issues in my patients. It's so prevalent. It's so common these days, and it's really important to be vocal about it and to bring awareness to the Black community, because like you said, it is a stigma, unfortunately, and so many of us struggle in silence.
Right.
So I just like to bring that to light.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I like to bring it to light. Yeah.
That's awesome. So that is true. How have you kind of interacted with mental health through your patients? Like, what do you, when you see them, you know, they obviously have some kind of physical issue.
Yeah.
But how does that affect them when they also have that mental, you know, part on top? I guess it must be very debilitating.
It does, because how we are mentally and our mental health, it affects our physical health as well. And a lot of people they don't think of that connection, but it is there. So instead of medicating patients, I really try to just talk to them and try to find non-pharmacological therapies for them instead of medication, because that has a number of side effects, you know. So I really just try to just talk to them and spend a lot of time with them, because that's what they need. They need someone to talk to and to kind of vent to, and then I kind of figure it out from there.
Almost a little bit of a therapist, sis.
Right?
Sounds like.
I mean, you know, nurses have
They
so
do
many
a lot.
hats.
Yeah.
We're therapists, we're doctors sometimes. I mean, we wear so many hats. Yeah, and that's huge.
And I love that, you know, you being Black as well, being so sympathetic to mental health, because a lot of people are just not that way with mental health. And
They
it's
laugh
like they
it off.
laugh it off.
And
They
they're
think it's
like
a joke.
generational depression.
You know,
like,
Yeah.
it's like a real
It's a
thing.
real
Very
thing.
real.
Like, there's a
Yeah.
real genetic link between it, because
Wow.
I mean, like your serotonin levels, like
Yeah,
your
your
dopamine,
neurotransmitters sometimes are
they're-
out of balance.
People don't think about that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's
It's
not
crazy.
as easy as it seems, because it's
Right.
not tangible.
Right,
You can't
right.
physically be like, that's your sadness.
Right,
Let
right.
me
No.
like touch
Yeah.
that. You can't touch the depression.
Right,
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
It's very
It's
misunderstood.
intangible.
That's a good point.
That's it.
It's misunderstood.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just telling you, that's why I'm launching this nonprofit, you know, it's called the Mental Health Hub, and just to connect people who need mental health with people who can provide those services, you know. So for example, as I was telling you, if you're like, God forbid, a rape victim, and you need this kind of daycare services because you haven't been working, or you need to help someone to help you with your resume, or, you know, any kind of like services that you wouldn't really, everything gets affected when you have a mental issue. And so those kinds of,
a lot of money.
right, and those kinds of services, you're not easily able to get that, especially in your state of mind. And
Right,
so
right.
what I'm trying to do with my organization I'm starting with my friend Elizabeth is like trying to get those services to people as quickly as possible through our
Very
website
needed.
and then through
Yes.
workshops.
Very
It's so
needed.
needed.
So
Resources are
I
everything.
just so
Yeah.
you guys are just amazing. Like I
Oh,
love
so
that
are you.
that you guys are
Yes.
so sympathetic to this, because people don't care and people don't think it's an issue. And
A
we were
real
talking,
thing. People don't think it's
right,
real.
right.
Yeah.
And you were even
Right.
talking, about postpartum,
Exactly.
and so I wonder how you've had your baby,
I had
and
my
not specific to your situation, but just in general, women who have gone through that body change,
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
it must have been
And
crazy.
some
And being a
women
new
like
mom.
kill their babies because
Oh
of it.
Lord. Yeah,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
It gets pretty extreme. Yeah.
And being a new mom opened me up to a community of moms,
Mhm.
obviously, and even during my pregnancy,
Right.
which my pregnancy was a hard one.
Mm.
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It was difficult, and I spent 3 months on hospitalized bed rest.
Really?
Mhm.
You
3
don't-
months.
You snapped back, girl. Wow.
Thank you.
No,
I'm
listen,
grateful.
people you don't know people have gone through.
You
That's
know.
right.
Really
A lot of
don't.
people
And it's
have
my
birth pregnancy.
testimony. It truly
Yeah.
is. We thought that she might have come early
Okay.
based on some measurements.
Right.
And we were able to keep her full term. And she was born healthy and beautiful, but it did come with sacrifice. Which motherhood in itself is a sacrifice.
Right.
That's a big part of what brings a lot of women into that state of depression.
Right.
Is because for so long and for their whole life up until the point of
Autonomy,
motherhood,
Mhm.
it's just you.
Mhm.
And then now you're responsible for this whole life.
Everything.
A lot of
Mhm.
moms, especially younger moms, feel like their life is put on hold. But further, there's things that happen with our hormones that are beyond
Oh yeah.
what you all can imagine. And
Hormones are powerful.
when you all become mothers, it's so much to
Right.
navigate through. And so I know people who have been personally affected with postpartum depression.
Right.
And
You know-
having that nonprofit that you're starting is going to be so critical as
Thank you.
as Amber said, a resource, which is
Right.
so needed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking like it must be difficult already when your body changes and you have all these chemical changes as well and imbalances. But what about? I wonder how social media has played a part, because whenever I see
all the girls,
whenever I see
bounce back,
yeah, no,
whoever doesn't bounce back, you don't see.
Right, and then you see girls who are like they make
it.
like pregnancy like such a cool thing,
Yeah.
like the
Oh
Kardashians.
my God.
Everyone
I have
like
a little story
yeah,
about
like
that.
and it's
Not
like
glam.
yeah, and it's like
And
to
all
me I
that
feel like
snap.
right, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, being pregnant is cool. It's an amazing thing. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
But there's also the hard part, you know, the challenges that you have
Yeah.
and on social media. Besides the bouncing back part, but just I'm pregnant
It's
again,
like
and it's just
glamour.
like
Yeah.
all these
It's
baby
very
like
I was
photo
on a
shoots
photo
and stuff.
shoot,
Yeah.
and I was getting ready for another photo shoot, but there was this girl from I'm not gonna say her name because she's like a really big celebrity, but she's from hip hop in Atlanta, and she was shooting here, and so she was working with one of the designers I know, and she will really trash the place because she threw milk. You probably saw this on the Shade Room, but she threw milk like all over the set because she was like trying to be like I'm lactating and like glamorizing like
what?
lactating.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
But what do you mean she
And
threw
Nick,
milk?
she was naked, and they threw milk on her head
Oh.
for the shoot.
Oh.
And so,
Oh,
yeah,
that's too much.
it was a lot.
Do anything
And then
for clout.
I was there like barefoot
Right,
on
yeah,
this
the clout, yeah.
milk that was all over her naked body. I was like,
Okay. Oh, that's
I mean, the thing is that it's
different
great
approach.
that they're making this positive. Like, for example, breastfeeding, you know, like most companies now have like a nursing room.
Right.
And you have all those kinds of things. But then, you know, being
Look down
social
upon,
media, they
like,
just
you're
Yeah.
gonna do
No,
that
they-
here?
no,
Yes,
but-
I'm gonna do that
But they
here.
just, I think we also go so far. Like, why is she doing all that with the throwing the milk on her body?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, it's just, it gets a little too much, you
It
know?
can
And
be.
it's
Did it
just,
start with Beyonce?
did she do that?
She was a little more reserved
She
during
was
her pregnancy.
reserved, but she did. I know she did like the pregnancy shoot.
But with the
and that was
twins, she was a little more visible. But I
Yeah.
wanted to say that Instagram is really people's highlight reel.
Right.
And you really have to not be misled, because how
Right.
somebody posts a picture on Instagram isn't how they feel inside,
Right.
or isn't how they look at the
Look at
time.
real
Right.
Moment.
Right.
Yeah. And people compare
So
themselves, and I think
And
that's where a lot of
people compare
anxiety, depression come from,
Right.
because they feel like they're not
Comparison.
living up
Right.
to where they should be
To somebody's
compared to someone
made
else.
up
You know what I mean? So I think
feed.
that's where a lot of the mental health illnesses stem from, is that
Mhm.
comparison
Yeah.
factor.
Comparison
It's
kills.
a thief-
We have
it's
to
a
be really
thief of
careful
joy.
about what we
Right.
allow into our space and into our headspace is what I'm
Right.
referring to.
Right.
And kind of filtering, but also just understanding that what you see isn't always what you get,
Mm-hmm.
and that people really do put their best face
Right.
and foot forward on social media.
But that's another thing. Like, so you have a 1-year-old, you know,
Mhm.
and even when I was younger, though social media wasn't so prevalent. So with cyberbullying and just comparing yourself, just all the negative parts, right? As a child, you know, what things are you and you know all the people that you talk to as mothers. What do you guys think is the best approach to kind of shield your baby, but then
Right.
also expose them so that they're not shell shocked in
balance.
college, right?
I do believe that we cannot avoid technology. I
Right.
think that there's so many benefits to tech in general,
Right.
and it does get a bad rep. We are a generation still who we didn't necessarily grow up with it, but it's so integral and it's such a part of our everyday life today. Whereas kids today are born into it,
Right.
and I don't think that there's any
TikTok.
escaping it.
TikTok.
Renegade,
I think we have to be realistic as
Well, the kids are gonna be
parents
like,
that we can't necessarily shield our children. I do think that encouraging healthy activities, especially physical activities that involve them going outside, playing with other children, being really present in your child's life as much as possible, which I know sometimes is easier said than done for some parents with work schedules and so forth. But I think that if we can really pay more attention to our children and encourage activities outside of anything on a computer or a phone or a tablet,
Right.
then I think that we'll be better off. But to answer your question, we really can't necessarily shield or protect them from tech, but just kind of put parameters in place,
Right.
have real conversations with our children,
Right.
teach them the differences between what they see in real life. And I mean, there are parental controls though too.
Right.
I did want to say that.
There are,
But they can put some of those parental
all
controls
find a
on.
way
Yeah.
It's all about
around
balance.
it.
And if it's not on their phone,
Yeah.
it's on their friend's
Right,
phone.
and that's the thing. Like, if you say, you know, you can't watch this or you can't watch this movie or do this or go with those
They're gonna want to do
they
it
want
more.
to do it.
They're
And
gonna
so
want to
it's
do
like-
it more.
Right, and so
They're
maybe just
smart.
exposing them. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
You know, expose them a
Exactly.
little bit, but then also make sure that you have like the bumpers on the side,
No, that's
so they don't
perfect.
go off the rails.
For sure.
You know?
Well
So
said,
balance.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit the nail
Absolutely.
on the head. Yeah.
Right. Oh, well, this has been great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
I
you
love
so
this.
much.
I
Thank
love
you so much.
Grace and I, you know, we started this thing, and I think that as we're growing, you know, bringing in you guys and
Yeah.
different people who are making an impact, not only to, you know, your lives and, you know, your businesses, but the community. You know, you're reaching 80,000 people on YouTube, like, not just for hair, but, you know, the words you speak. You know, this is your
This is
legacy.
you.
You know,
Yes.
This is what you leave behind. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm really appreciative that you guys came out.
And
Yeah.
we're so appreciative of you, beautiful queen. Thanks for having
Thank you for
us.
inviting us.
Thank
We're
you
so
for allowing
honored.
us to share on your
Yes.
platform.
Yes.
And you know, this
We
is
love
definitely
to-
the beginning of a long relationship.
Yes, we
Because we
definitely-
don't go to that one night.
Hey,
Right,
yeah,
we're coming.
yeah.
Yeah, so before we end, definitely tell us when was the wine event? Tell us the name of the
Yes.
event and the place.
So Pure Noir Wines is the brand, and it's spelled P-U-R. It's spelled P-U-R-N-O-I-R-E. And we're online at purenoirwines.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter to get more information on all things Pure Noir, including our events, because we'll have regular events. But our first one happens to be March 21st from 9 to midnight. Tickets are still available, but they're going really fast. So you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Just search Pure Noir.
There's 2 tickets left, guys.
We still have some tickets. We're exactly a month away today.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have complimentary wine tastings. We're going to have food pairings, and there's live music.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna be there.
it's
Yes.
lit.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Okay, and then tell us before we end your IG, and then also where they can find you on YouTube too.
Yes, youtube.com/unearthedamber. It's Unearthed Amber across all platforms.
Okay.
So on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Unearthed Amber. And I also have a body butter that I didn't touch on.
Really?
That is handmade by yours truly. I make it in my home. It's an ultra rich blend of cocoa butter, shea butter, and essential oils to create the best moisturizer. I'm not gassing my own product, but it is literally amazing.
Shea butter
good.
is hard. Is it whipped?
It's wet. No, it's definitely wet. It is
I'm not gonna be
firm.
over there clean.
Right.
It's firm, but it melts in your hands really, really easily. So you can find that on www.unearthedamber.com.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys. This has been the Just with Issa and Grace. You can find me on Instagram, Life of Issa, so Life of YSAA.
And you can find me on Instagram at Grace_Africa.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Just with Issa on Afro Vibes Radio. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye.
I don't want to